everyone. Hi, conscious lovers. Welcome to all our new members. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Took me a second. I still can't seem to figure out how to post this video or how to record it from my personal profile since it seems like many of you aren't seeing anything that I post when I post from here, but I'll figure that out later. I am so excited to be here for a little pop-up training I decided to do sort of spontaneously this week. I'll be coming on for about 10 minutes every single day, Tuesday through Friday this week, and I'll announce at different times to talk about something many of you have told me is a huge concern for you. So, and that is finding time, right? Finding time for your partner, finding time for yourself too, but finding time for love and finding time to nurture and cultivate a connection with your partner, especially if you're a busy parent, you have a ton of responsibilities, whether you work at home or outside the home, you might be volunteering, you might be taking care of a million different things, right? And so one of the first things to get relegated to the bottom of our list is unfortunately our relationship, especially when we're overstressed. So if you've ever felt like you're just coexisting, or that you're more like roommates than lovers, or that you fall into pragmatic conversations about who's picking up the kids from aftercare, or who's picking up food for dinner from the supermarket, or stuff like that, when you're going to be visiting which family member, then you're not alone. So many couples say that finding either the energy or the time for their relationship is a huge challenge. And I know that there's a reality to that, right? So I definitely want to validate it's easy for us to lose ourselves in being busy and in all the other responsibilities and obligations we have. Yet it's really crucial, and today I'm going to be focusing on this, that we make a decision. So that's the first step, is making a decision, really making a commitment to your relationship. If you're joining me live, say hi so I know you're here. If you're watching the replay, type in replay, and just feel free to add your comments, questions, and anything like that. I promise to keep this really brief today, just so that it feels very doable and digestible, and also because I have to be on time for my afternoon sessions. So let's get started. And I already mentioned, number one, the most important thing I would like each of you to do is really check in with yourselves. First of all, let's take a moment to just to exhale. This is a busy time of year where we get pulled in so many different directions. And I feel like it applies even when it's not the holidays, but it's an especially busy time of year for many of us. And it's tough to kind of just get grounded and center ourselves. So that's the first thing I want you to do. And then I would like to invite you to just check in with yourself and just see how it feels when I invite you to make a commitment, to make a decision, a clear decision about making a commitment to prioritize your relationship. And I want you to write down, if you have some paper and a pen, that's best, but I'd like for you to write down either right now or right after this, why that's important to you. Like, what's your big why? Why is it important to you to make your relationship a priority, your relationship with your partner? What will that allow you to have, to feel more of the time? So I want you to get really clear on, why it's worth it to you, basically, to be deliberate about prioritizing your connection with your partner. And you might want to write out a few things around, what happens if it's not a priority. I know that that's kind of scary for many of us to think about, but it can help bring clarity and motivate you to do things differently and to show up differently. And I also want you to know it can be very, very simple. So there's nothing that needs to be difficult or complicated about this. Simple is actually best, especially now, right? So we're going to keep this really, really simple. But if you want, if you feel able or comfortable, you can type in, some of the reasons why it's important for you personally to make your relationship a priority. And I want you to know that your relationship with your partner is really like a breathing, living organism that needs to be attended to and noticed and remembered. So, you'll hear a lot about like being attuned to your partner, or checking in with your partner, asking them about how their day is, being a good listener. All of that's so important. But I also want you to visualize your relationship as its own entity with its own needs. It's something that is, it's not exactly the same as either of your individual needs, right? It has its own rhythms. It has its own personality, if you will. You could even think about it as another child, another entity that needs your attention, that you can't neglect, and that needs both of you to be committed to kind of taking the temperature and noticing what's happening to us, what's happening to our relationship. Even just taking the time and giving that some energy can make a huge difference, even if it's just a minute a day. I don't care how long it is. It's not a matter of how much time you devote. It's a mindset thing, right? Or a heart set, where you're coming from in your heart space. So make your relationship a priority, because it is, right? So much depends on the state of your relationship. Everything from, there's so much research, and I'm sure your personal experience can corroborate this, but there's so much research that tells us that our intimate relationship impacts our health. It impacts how we experience physical pain. If we feel cared for, our pain levels might actually not be as distressing to us. Our relationship really helps us be more resilient. It helps us recover from setbacks more quickly. It's a direct way to nurture our creativity and our confidence, just in general, within ourselves. There are so many implications. We're usually better parents. We're more confident parents. We're calmer parents when our own relationship with our spouse feels grounding and safe and secure. So those are just a few, but I want you to really get clear on your own motivation, your own big why, about why your relationship is important to you. And again, if you feel called, just type those in or share them with us here now or later on or in the group. I think that, making a commitment out loud can really be very powerful for us to be witnessed in that way, in a safe space, and also can serve as a way to keep us accountable too. So I really invite you to get clear on those big whys, and then to make a decision about why your relationship matters to you, and how you would like to show up in your relationship. And just for a moment, if you could suspend reality, I would like you to imagine, if you had more energy, if you had more time, how would you act differently? How would you respond to your partner differently? How would you show your affection to your partner differently? What would be different if you had more time and more energy? How would that translate to your relationship? So let me know who's ready for some homework. I promised I would keep this really brief. Okay, so I would like you, between now and maybe next time that you see me here on our next little episode here, to really get clear on that big why. If you feel called, you can let us know what that is, about why you would like to make your relationship a priority again. And either tell us one way that you plan to show up in your relationship, whether it's wanting to be a more attentive partner, whether it's wanting to show your affection more. Actually, I'm going to keep it really simple. So I'll give you the other homework another time. But just do that. Just make a decision. Let us know if you're on board. If you will say yes, essentially, to your relationship and to making it a priority. And then let us know, why you're motivated to do that, and how you would like to show up in your relationship if you had all the time in the world and all the energy in the world. All right, that's what I have for you today. Tomorrow, make sure you show up. If you're here live, you'll be able to ask questions, and I think it's always just very powerful to be in a group where collectively we are paying attention to these things and bringing consciousness to our patterns, to help you, make sure that you're not just living on autopilot or going through the motions in your marriage or committed relationship, and that you actually are being committed in a day-to-day, moment-by-moment way to making your relationship the best that it can be. So show up tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to be talking about, let me see what I wrote here in my notes. I broke it down for us. So today's all about making a decision and making a commitment, right? And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about a big topic, boundaries. And of course, 10 minutes isn't enough to really go into it as much as I could, but I think it'll still be really helpful in guiding you so that it is easier to make time for your relationship and that you feel more able to take action. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow, and I look forward to hearing any comments or questions that you have. Take care. Bye.